Brad Pomerance at the California Republican Party Convention on Charter Local Edition. We are joined today by Hougo, a candidate for the U.S. Senate from the Santa Clarita Valley near good old Magic Mountain, Six Flags. Right. And your Senate candidacy is based upon a simple principle.
It
is.
That
is what?
Well, essentially, right now, our votes don't matter, but they should.
When you say our votes, meaning?
Meaning the voters of California on a national level. You know, we have things happen instantly and everybody in the world knows, but it seems like we're getting further and further from our elected officials. So my platform is, why isn't there a website where every registered voter has a secure portal? You can see each bill coming before the U.S. Senate, and it would have the pros and the cons and the costs. You could cast your virtual ballot. Instantly, you'd see where it's polling statewide, and whatever the people of California say, that's how I'd vote every single time.
It's compelling, but could one argue that when we elect you, we are electing you for your expertise?
Correct.
We are electing you for your breadth of knowledge.
Correct.
You will be in possession of information that we will not be.
Correct.
And so, talk to me about how that militates maybe against your idea.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, realistically, we should be voting for someone who will represent us and will put the best interests of the state ahead of everything else and vote in our best interest. But realistically right now, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, they're going to get elected and they're going to vote along party lines. And it's almost impossible to get a hold of your elected official and let them know how you feel. So what better way than to bring the people into it, and you're giving them a platform. You're making it completely transparent where every single bill, they can see how it's going. Right now, you get either a Republican vote or a Democratic vote, but most people are conservative or liberal depending on the issue. And I think that 70% in the middle, we're voiceless.
But is it necessary for you to confirm undeniably that you will do whatever the poll says? Or couldn't you say this is advisory?
Well, I'm running on the platform. I'm running a no donations campaign because I think right now the money in politics has completely corrupted the system. And I think the fact Trump and Sanders are polling so well is the fact that people don't want politics as usual. So why not say whatever the people, I mean, as an elected representative, aren't you supposed to represent the people?
But could one argue that the people, and this is not meant to be paternal, but they're not always right. And they don't always have the information. And, you know, for example, and I'm not taking a position, 65% of Republicans currently agree with Mr. Trump's position that Muslims should be temporarily banned from the country. One could argue that is not a constitutional position, an appropriate position. So,
well, the odds of a bill getting to the U.S. Senate, because it has to go through committee, it has to be vetted out, the odds of a bill getting there banning Muslims from coming to the United States are very slim. But there's two sides to every argument.
Of course.
And the people of California aren't being heard, I don't think, on most of what's coming to the Senate.
Is that because we have two Democrats and there's a Republican Senate right now?
It's a large part. I think mostly, it's because they don't really, look, by the time, it's about $10 million to run a U.S. Senate campaign. I know because I have no money, I'm running out of my pocket. But people are making financial investments. Those aren't donations. They're going to look for something.
So why are you running as a Republican as opposed to a Democrat or no party preference?
That's a great question. When I was 18, that was the box I checked. And there are some things I agree with the Republican Party. There are a lot of things I agree with the Democrats. But it felt disingenuous to switch my party affiliation right before an election. And honestly, I don't think the R or the D next to the name denotes really what you represent.
Really?
It's a spectrum, right? I mean,
it is a spectrum.
But you no longer have the liberal Republicans and you no longer have the conservative Democrats. Both parties have gone further and further to the side, and I think that 70% in the middle is really voiceless. I think there's nobody representing that middle.
He is Hougo. He is a candidate for the U.S. Senate. My name is Brad Pomerance at the California Republican Party Convention, Charter Local Edition.